In this video, we will graph the function y equals -2 sine of 3 pi x. This function has the form y equals a sine of bx. In our function, a is -2 and b is 3 pi. To graph the function, first we have to find the amplitude and the period. To find the amplitude, we need to take the absolute value of a, and in this case, the absolute value of -2 is +2. The period is found using the formula 2 pi divided by b. Then, if we replace b with 3 pi and cancel pi, then the period is 2/3. To the right, I will start the coordinate system. And because the amplitude is 2, the maximum value of this function will be +2 and the minimum value will be -2. The period is 2/3 and we will plot it on the x-axis. Now, on this interval, we will find the coordinates of 5 points that belong to the graph. These will be the maximum point, the minimum point, and the x-intercepts. For this, we will divide this interval into 4 subintervals. To find the lengths of each of these subintervals, we will take the period and we will divide it by 4. So then, the period divided by 4 equals 2/3 divided by 4, which is the same as 2/3 times 1/4. Now let's reduce, and the period divided by 4 is 1/6. So the length of each of these subintervals is 1/6, and we will use these quarter periods to find the x-coordinates of those 5 points. The x-coordinate of the first point is 0. I will start a table to the left that will hold all the coordinates of these 5 points. So here we have it, and the first x-coordinate will be 0. Now, to find the next x-coordinate, we need to take the previous one and add a quarter period. Then 0 plus 1/6 is 1/6, and let's add this value to the table as well. To get the next x-coordinate, we take the previous value and we add a quarter period. 1/6 plus another 1/6 is 2/6. Then if we divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, we will get 1/3. So then the next x-coordinate is 1/3, and we will add it to the table as well. And now to find the next value, we will take 1/3 and we will add 1/6. Recall that from the previous calculations, 1/3 is the same as 2/6. So we can write 2/6, and now let's add a quarter period, which is 1/6, and this makes 3/6, or 1/2. So the next value is 1/2, and we will add it to the table. And now if we would take 1/2 and we would add another quarter period, then we will get 2/3. So then the last value in the table will be 2/3. And now we have the x-coordinates of the 5 points of the graph. Now in the next step, we will find the y-coordinates. To find these coordinates, we will take each of these x-coordinates and we will replace them in the function. But before we do that, let's see if we understand the behavior of this function on the interval from 0 to 2/3. Recall that the basic sine function is y equals sine of x, and for this function, the amplitude is 1, and the period is 2 pi. The function passes through the origin, and first it goes up to +1, then back to 0, then down to -1, and then again to 0. So the sine function passes through the origin, and if in front of sine we have a positive number, the graph will go up. But if in front of sine we would have a negative number, then from the origin the graph would go down. So what we can tell about the function we have is that the function will pass through the origin, and because we have a negative number in front, from the origin the graph will go down first, then to 0, and then will go up to 2, and then back to 0. Let's see if we are right by finding the y-coordinates and then plotting the points. On axis 0, y equals -2 times sine of 3 pi multiplied by 0. Sine of 0 is 0, and -2 times 0 is 0. So indeed, the first point we have in the table is the origin. For the calculations we have to do here, we can use a calculator, and it has to be in radian mode, or we can use the unit circle. Now let's continue with the second row. Y equals -2 sine of 3 pi, and now we will replace x with 1/6. So you see, for each of these calculations, I'm taking this function and I am replacing x with the values we have in the table. Here 3/6 is half. Then we will have -2 sine of pi over 2. Sine of pi over 2 is 1, and -2 times 1 is -2. Let's add it to the table, and let's continue with row 3. Y equals -2 sine of 3 pi multiplied by 1/3. Here 3 and 3 will cancel, and we will have -2 sine of pi, and sine of pi is 0, and -2 times 0 is 0. In row 4, y equals -2 sine of 3 pi multiplied by 1/2. Here sine of 3 pi over 2 is -1, and -2 times -1 is +2. And now in the last row, y equals -2 sine of 3 pi multiplied by 2/3. And because 3 and 3 cancels, we have -2 sine of 2 pi. And sine of 2 pi is 0, and -2 times 0 is 0. So here we have all the coordinates of the 5 points. Now we will start plotting each of these points, and the first one is 0, 0. The next one is 1/6 and down to -2. Then the next one is 1/3, 0. Then 1/2 +2, and 2/3, 0. Then we will connect the points to get the graph. So here we have the graph, and this graph will continue left and right indefinitely. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, leave a comment or any questions you may have, and thank you for watching.